It's not a good fit. So I'm going to play this. We're going to play this. If you have any notes about plays in here, we'll talk about them. I got other plays. I could do this probably for 4 hours. I can tell you this. Of all the plays I have on my computer and on my external hard drives, I could probably show plays nonstop for the next 2 months. I'm a big video junkie. That's how I that's my way of getting it. I'm probably overdo it. But the first thing I'm going to do is we'll get this video started. This is exactly what you get. Hopefully you guys can hear it. The sound was kind of iffy. It's not as good as my voice, but I'm going to play it. And if you guys write down any questions you have, and then we can go from there. But this is exactly what we get in training.
Fouls and technical fouls. Play 1. On this play, white number 3 loses his initial legal guarding position, and he then tries to reestablish it during the drive down the left lane line. The replay here shows that white number 3 is not in legal guarding position in the moments immediately prior to contact. White number 3 twists and turns in an attempt to fool the official into whistling an offensive foul. That said, this is a blocking foul. Remember, once the defender loses initial legal guarding position, he can guard the offensive player's path, but he can't take it away. Play 2. This second path play is also incorrectly called a charge. This is a blocking foul. White number 10 moves up and into the path of blue number 22 during the drive in an east to west direction. Remember, the defender can guard a player's path, but he can't get away without squaring up into it. Play 3. On this play, white number 3 loses his initial legal guarding position, and he then tries to reestablish by sliding and making contact with the offensive driver moving down the right lane line. The replay shows that the defender is moving into the contact at a 45-degree angle with his lead leg, which is in this case his left leg, not even close to being legal and square at the point of contact. After the contact, white number 3 twists and turns to make it appear as if he had been legal and square. Again, this is a blocking foul. Play 4. This play is similar to the previous play. The defender does not maintain legal guarding position, and he takes away the path of the offensive player. The replay clearly shows the defender at a 45-degree angle to the path of the offensive player, with the defender's lead leg not even halfway in front of the offensive player's path when contact occurs. This is correctly called a blocking foul. Play 5. This is an example of a secondary defender being late when attempting to establish legal guarding position in the path of the offensive player. This is a blocking foul.
You guys noticing that you see those X's? It's a block.
This next series of plays addresses high screens and cutters, pick and rolls, screening slips, and more. Screening has become a huge part of the college game.
There you go. Okay. Anybody have any questions on those plays that we saw? Yes.
My biggest question is on play 3. I do understand the explanation as to the blocking foul, however, it appears that the offensive player did extend out.
This is a great question. Tremendous. Okay. And the answer is simple. This guy's on a path. and all he's trying to do is protect himself. Okay, so in our game, we call what we, I don't know if I said this before, we have plays that are ants and we have plays that are elephants. The elephant is I'm on a path and I get taken down by the blocking foul, correct? The ant is the fact that I might push off this much. Does that make sense? The elephant is like, hey, I'm on a path. This is my path, and I'm on this path, and he's not allowed to take it away from me. Now, I understand if it's overt and I hit the guy in the face or something like that, that's different. Then this becomes an elephant, and the other part becomes an ant. But prior to that, the other thing is we call these path plays. This is a big part of our game. This is really this infiltrated our game to no end. And we were calling all these plays charges. Look, you can see how many charges we called in those plays. And they're all wrong. And I'll show you another example of something later. Anything else on these plays? Yes. You can guard his path, but you can't take his path away. Okay, so if I'm on a path to the basket, let's say the basket's right here, and I'm on a path to the basket, I'm allowed to get in front and take a perpendicular hit, but I'm not allowed to slide and take the hit. Does that make sense? He's got to get in front. So here, stand up. So if he's driving, if he's going this way to the basket, and I go this way and I get him here, no good. Go back. If he's coming and now I get here, I've taken his path away. I've defended his path. I've taken it away legally. No, not when he's got the ball. As long as I get in front and I take a perpendicular hit, I'm good. Technically, the guy's not legal. I mean, we're going to give the offensive player as much latitude in this as we can. Now, these are plays that we were horrible at this. Terrible. And then, so the video works. Dick Carmel. Anybody ever heard of Dick Carmel? Probably the greatest referee out west ever. Probably top 5 referees of all time. Dick's a very good friend of mine. Dick and I do all the video for the whatever it's called now, the COCF FGY. I don't write the script. I just get the plays. I select the plays. Dick writes the script. So these are plays. So this goes out. Now it says coaches video. This went out to the coaches, but it also went out to the staff. Like, guys, this is an issue. So this is why you're seeing what it is. Any other questions on the path plays? Yes.
In play 5, the offensive player had the ball, deep installation defender with someone down low on the post for that big man and went east to west.
Another great question. It's a blocking foul because it's a secondary defender. So there's a bigger onus on the secondary defender. So if I'm a primary guy and I'm legal and I stay and I'm guarding this guy and I'm allowed to guard his path, but I'm not allowed to take it away unless I get in front, like I showed you.
But even if he beats the initial defender,
If he beats the initial guy, the secondary defender slides over.
and he went
He has
east to
to-
west.
He has to get in his path. He can't get to the X part of that. He has to get here and take it. So remember, a perpendicular hit. Did you also notice that when all those plays happens, guys slid, they peeled. When they peel, you can pretty much always call a block, and you'll be right. If you see them over each other, you could probably almost call a charge, and you'll be right. Does that make sense? If you guys get, the X is a great way to see it. Yeah, you're going to see guys are going to go like that. Question.
Yeah, so I think, we often talk about, well, the defender took it in the chest, right? And I think what I'm seeing here is like kind of throwing that out the window, because it's not about taking it in the chest. It's about it's
about the path to the basket. Here, did you guys hear? Oh, scoring's way down. Scoring's way down. We need more scoring. Well, this is a big point of emphasis, the path plays. And I think the reason that everybody equates block charge to the hardest play in the world is because we were missing all these. And they were saying, well, the coaches believe it or not, the coaches always thought those were blocking fouls. The referees were the only ones that thought they were charges because of the chest thing. but it's not the case. It's more the case of I'm on a path. I'm entitled to that path. I should be allowed to be on this path. But then how they defend it and how they take it away is what's key.
And I think the other thing would be like follow up talking with coaches when they come back and say like, he took it right in the chest. You know, like we're just gonna have to make
You're the coach. I'm gonna be a referee.
right? Like
Okay, go ahead.
my guy took it right in the chest. How was that?
No, I don't disagree with you. However, he wasn't legal in front of the of the offensive player. He took his path away. He moved into his path. Never reestablished. What? We'll show some more pathways, but correct. We just need to take it perpendicular into the chest. Fair enough. Perpendicular is key. Hey, this is real. Look at. I'm going to tell you guys something. This is really good stuff. Like all the questions have been really good.
So this is one of the points of emphasis in our NFHS manual this year. And it's got a picture of all this stuff and stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's point of emphasis. Remember, 2 feet planted down facing your opponent. That's all you have to be. He or she, 2 feet down facing their opponent. So how they get there is the call that we need to make.
He can guard path. He just can't. Right? I got to guard the path. If your path is this way, I got to get here to take it away. I can't take it away illegally. The other thing that you got to keep when you're refereeing, so everybody's heard the term referee the defense, right? Okay. Back when I first started, and up until about 10 years ago, it was always, referee the defense, referee the defense. Now, the game's completely changed. I would say it's probably 60-40. You have to have 60% of what the defense is doing, 40% of what the offense is doing. And in our game, and I don't know I really don't know what the high school rule is regarding block charge plays, but we use plant foot now by the offensive player. So that guy has to be in front legal by the time his plant foot is there. Whereas before it didn't matter. It was before he got airborne. Now it's plant foot. So if I'm not paying attention to the offense and I'm looking at the defense and I'm going, oh yeah, he's there. And then I realize, oh shit, the offensive player is this high in the air. It should be a blocking foul instead of calling charge. It's different. There's a big onus on having a great idea of what the offensive player is doing. Okay, I have a question for you guys. What's the continuation rule what's the shooting rule in high school basketball these days? Has it changed? Is it just upward motion?
The shooting rules, he's an airborne shooter until he comes back at the ground, right?
Correct. But when do you guys decide you're going to give shots?
Yeah.
On the gather? So high school is gather? So upward motion. Okay. Because our rule just changed. To, it doesn't say gather, but it says when the dribble ends. That's what ours just changed. So there might be some plays in here that are, say, last year's rule. I don't know. I just stirring the pot a little bit. Okay. The next plays you're going to see are high screen and role plays. Has your guys' game evolved to where there's hardly any post play? Hardly any post play. Lots of high ball screens. Lots of screening action on the perimeter. Bigs going out to set screens way up above the free throw line. Things like that. Okay, so we're going to see some plays on screening and stuff like that, and we'll pause. I think it's better just to kind of pause in between each segment if you agree. Okay. I never do this. I never speak. Yeah, right there. Far left play.
Here is guidance for regarding officiating screening plays. First, don't be in a hurry to blow the whistle. Slow down and let the play develop.
This is really a good
Deciding if and when the screener has truly become a cutter. Third, decide when the defender quits actively trying to defend his primary, which is the player receiving the screen. Play 6. On this play, white number 35 sets up to screen black number 23. who does not actively try to defend his primary. Black number 23 switches and goes under the screen. The official has a big picture look at the play and correctly has no whistle regarding the screening action. Play 7. This is a hard play that is whistled for an illegal screen, but the foul should instead be whistled on the defender. The on-ball defender sets up so far back that he shows that he is not actively trying to defend his primary.
You pause it.
He then goes under, but white number 13.
No, that's good. You guys see that? Yeah. That guy intentionally ran into that guy. So he could get a bad screen call. That guy, he never, do you think he's trying to guard that guy?
No.
So when they talk about actively trying to defend, that's what he has to be doing. He has to actively be trying to defend his primary offensive player. He's not close. He's trying, this is a fool to what we call a fool to referee play. He's going sideways to do this. Believe it or not, this is really creeping into our game. And if it's in our game, it's going to be in your game. Guaranteed.
When the last thing you were talking about, he's crossing into his path.
Yeah, so this is a kind of a path play without the ball.
Right.
Yeah, you had a question here?
Yeah, so I'll follow up that same question and everything. So, in my view, right, could be wrong. His eye is in contact with the ball handler. He did not see the screen coming to his right. The ball handler went around the right and he's going that way. I'm looking at it in that way.
But if he's trying to guard this guy, he's going to go this way. He's going to go this way. He sees him, trust me. He's intentionally going that way to get him. I have another play. Play him. Go ahead, you got it? I got a good match.
Rapid that guy on the screen. And this is a difficult play, but it is one that needs to be called a defensive foul for impeding and holding a cover.
Not a screening foul, but a defensive foul.
Play 8. This
Okay, go ahead. Now listen to the dialogue here. It's really good stuff.
is a screen and roll play where the defender is again not actively trying to defend his primary. He goes under and switches. An illegal screen call here is incorrect. The official in this case needs to.
This is the switch. They switch. So you can't have a bad screen. There's no more screen. That's a switch. This guy's guarding that guy's guarding that guy. It's not a bad screen anymore. Okay.
Slow down and allow this play to develop. There is no need for a whistle here. Play 9. This is another play where the official needs to slow down and let the play develop. Here, there is no need for a whistle. The defender, white number 2, is not actively trying to defend, but rather he dives down into black number 1, who started out wanting to screen, but instead became a cutter. A no call is the best result of this play. Play 10. On this play, the defender, red number 10, is not actively trying to defend his primary. Instead, he changes direction to take out the cutter. The official incorrectly calls this an illegal screen. Play 11.
Pause that. Go back to that. You see the goat? He's like saying, hey, wait a second. Go ahead. Watch the goat. Next play.
Play 10. Again, on this play, the defender, red number 10, is not actively trying to defend his primary. Instead, he changes direction to take out the cutter. The official incorrectly calls this an illegal screen.
Hey, wait a second. I guy's not basket. That guy's not. Plus, look at this is in the side. You got to know your personnel. I got it right here. Is an absolute pain. One of the first guys to like the king of foot shit in the game. Which one is it that they're making? Who's that? Jalen Hopkins. The king of shit in the game. So if you know your personnel ahead of time, now this is during the NCAA tournament, so it's hard. But when you know, you can have an idea like, hey, this guy will number 10, we better watch him all the time. Be the slash keeper, plus be. Yeah, they do. All right, here we go. So you guys, is this making sense or is this like, whoa, this is really stupid? Okay, go ahead.
Play 11. On this play, white number 5 sets a legal screen on black number 3 at the top of the key. Things get a little messy as both players dance together when white number 5 tries to slip to the basket. This is incidental contact, and the officials do a good job letting the play develop without a whistle. Play 12.
See that? No call. Perfect. He just let it play out. The guy went under, he just kind of danced with him, like, okay, now I'll go back. But he was never actively trying to guard the guy out front, correct? It'd be hard to call that guy for a foul. Okay.
This is an elevator screen at the free throw line.
past this.
The two screeners are under the same guidelines as any other screen width apart. They must also
Pass out.
allow the defender time and distantly
That was
letting be
now an argument.
screen during an
It's a foul.
to be called with the blue number 40 initially sets a legal screen on white number 11 who is actively trying to defend. But after the initial screen, blue number 40 uses his arms to knock the defender off balance.
See the difference?
This is correctly called an illegal screen. Play 14.
That's the difference. Okay, go ahead.
This is an illegal screen by white number 24 during his efforts to screen blue number 1. Not only is the screener too wide at his base, but also he continues to move to attempt to pick off the defender who is actively trying to fight through the screen to continue guarding the ball. This is a correct call by the official. Play 15. This is another very difficult screenplay where the official must quickly decide on whether orange number 11 is a screener or a cutter and if there is an active defender. On this play, it appears that white number 23 is actively trying to guard the ball and gets knocked off his path by orange number 11. Ultimately, the official, who has a big picture look at the play, correctly calls this an offensive foul. The next series of play.
Any questions about any of it? We got a lot.
Play 14 that
These are
that he's free outside his base, he's free outside his shoulder. That's still
It is an argument, yeah. I mean, our game, it says that they can't be with outside their shoulder base, outside of their base. So, but here's the biggest thing. I heard like Mick Cronin got up my ass one time, big time. He says, Tony, he was that wide. I said, yeah, he was. I agree. But you never made contact. So how am I supposed to call a foul on a guy that didn't make any contact? He goes, well, he's outside. We have to run around it. I said, well, then blow it up. Blow it up. And I promise you, I'll call it. Right? Any other?
If they make tech,
If they make, here's another good question.
they're good though. Still.
If they make contact right here, then it's a foul on the defensive player, not the offensive player. If he blows him up that way. If he blows them up low, we got to call it an offensive foul. If he blows them up here, that's
You have to agree that that pick and roll style play that looks like a screen seems to be it's been the latest thing over the past few years. Right? So send that and then roll if you're blocking somebody, but you're on your way to the basket.
100%. You have to determine who's a screener, who's a cutter. So when we were talking about like stuff to cover and things like that, so this is another thing that's really gotten into our game. And Dick came up with a saying last year. Okay, so how many people have heard? You guys mostly do 3-person mechanics, correct? Okay, how many people have heard it's a 2-referee play? So in these plays, it's always 2 referee. So if it's up top like those, it's going to be center trail. Okay, if it gets down lower, like the one that was in the corner on the other side, that's going to be lead and trail. All these plays are 2 referee plays because you have to get the front side, you have to get the back side, you have to get the cutter, and then you have to get the guy who's being screened. So you have 4 guys that you have to referee, and you can only follow 2 at a time. So those become what we call all 2 referee plays. With that being said, there's plays in games where you can, so this is what Dick came up with. I can screen, then roll, but I can't roll and screen. Does that make sense? And I have the 2 plays in particular, but I can screen. So if the guy comes here and then he decides to go under, I screen, I did my job. He's going under, and now the guy's got a hedge. You guys know what hedging is, right? They hedge to push the offensive player out to get the timing back. So I screen, he goes under. I've done my job. He decided to go under. That's his job. He wants to go under, then all bets are off. I now am a cutter. So I'm allowed to screen, then roll. If I go to set the screen and that guy says I'm going under and I wash him out, then it's a foul, then it's a bad screen or a foul on the offense. Yes, sir.
So using that example, the play where you said it was a great call for a no call on top where he sets a legal screen, then they happens there. Where do you break the barrier between an incidental and a displaces him? And then incidental where it's actually just
That's what I tell coaches all the time. I said that was a foul. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't. Why wasn't it a foul? Because I didn't blow my whistle. So, with that being said, I have said that. So you have to decipher. It's not what the difference is between incidental contact or what's becoming more in the book or more commonly referred to as marginal. You have to determine. This is why we get paid the big money. You have to determine what's marginal and what's illegal. That's the difference. Does that crime fit illegal? That's what you have to decide. And then if you decide, hey, that's an illegal screen, then you ship it.
so you
Or-
break away the idea of displacement instead of actually
Yep. I'm saying like in those examples there, are you talking about those? Like the one where the guy sets and like he's slipping the screen where he goes to slip and there's really nobody to screen and he goes and the guy runs at him and grabs him or that's illegal on the defender. He's basically saying, I'm gonna take that guy away. That's illegal. That's not incidental. He's not, trust me, these guys are not running at a guy over here and blowing everything up on an accident. He got taught that. There's a guy that's a coach at, it's a school back east. I mean, Dick and I got like 12 clips in one game of them running at the screener after they screen. They would go under, and as soon as the guy rolled to the basket, they ran right over and got knocked over. And guess what? The officials were 12 for 12 calling bad screens, and not one of them was bad. But that coach didn't. So that's why if you see that the best thing did, like in that one, that's a no call. Like you see where the coach is really going crazy. If you no call that play, the other coach is going to go crazy, and you just go, coach. That guy did nothing wrong. You guys are initiating the contact. Anything else? The rest of this is for the coaches. It's all bullshit.
flagrant fouls that are excessive and
These
have
are all
no
flagrant
place
fouls.
in the college game. These types of flagrant fouls
Good. And move off this. And bring them this way. Right. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. Question. Pause. Say you go bring it back in. You go back. I don't know. I think so. I just said most of the fouls. Okay, we'll play. Hang on. Don't play this yet. Okay. Is it good? This guy right here is a really good friend of mine, Greg Nixon. I think he's one of the best officials in the country. Very, very, very underrated. Very good judgment. Mike Cypher's just retired this last year, and of course that's me. Now, we'll just play the play and then I'll explain. Right now to this point that you guys remember we were all talking about these path plays, right? Back it up just a little bit. So, pathway. Departmental's on my ass, like, hey, you're missing these pathways really bad. Okay, so I'm in the trail. Here we go. Now go ahead and play. It's better right now to this point that USC offense. Now he called it charge. Let's go back to that. Anybody see the most glaring, most evident thing in here that's just absolutely disgusting and disgraceful? Triple whistle. To the point where every time I see this, I get sick to my stomach. Like if I was the boss, I would maybe fire that guy. I'm serious. Or that guy could be the very last guy to blow on this play. So I got this little thing written down right here, and I've looked at more video than you could ever imagine. Thought about it more than anybody can imagine. You know, like those flights get old after a while, so you gotta find something to do. Why do we miss plays? We should be. Ready for this? This is why we miss plays. Number one reason why we miss plays, we get surprised. 55% of the time, we miss plays because we're surprised. Okay? That means we're ball watching, and then all of a sudden, oh shit. And then we put a whistle on it. Kind of sounds like guessing, but it's more along the lines of we get surprised. 15% of the time, we miss plays because we guess. We don't have a look, and we just think, oh, that didn't look so swell, so I'm going to blow my whistle. That's a guess. 18% of the time we miss plays because of our looks, our positioning, or our looks. Our look is bad, and you're going to hear me talk about first best, second best, third best. Okay? Looks. God, the time's flying. We're never going to get the last three reasons why are we over officiate. This is one of them. Over officiate. Right here. That's my demise. All the mistakes I make, I over officiate. This is an example of that. I'm up there thinking, oh man, path play. I'm going to show Carts how good I am, except I'm the last guy that should be blowing here. Right? So instead of me looking like a hero out there, I look like a complete dumbass. I should never, ever blow my whistle from there. Okay, last two, hang on, we'll get to your. The last two reasons, 4% officiate, 4% for we lack courage. Like, I'm not sticking my nose in that. No way. I might lose some games. No way. I'm just not going there. Not. I don't want to work with those guys. And you want to know what's really scary? Probably 95% of the guys I work with are like that. They lack courage. They got great judgment all game long. Everything's strolling around. Last minute of the game, it's like, hey, where's so and so? That was the beneficiary of about 75 death threats that he got. And the last reason why we miss plays, because we're not very good. You guys ever hear of the Peter Principle? It's when you reach your level of incompetence. There's a lot of guys that reach that level. I hope I have. Anyways, get back to the play. It should never blow here. Never, ever, ever, never, ever. But I really wanted to impress my buddy because about a pathway. Yes, sir.
So we know Trail shouldn't call at all in a situation. Would you argue that in your position, like the only person that should have a whistle is C? There's no secondary defender, so Lead shouldn't be looking. Once it crosses the court, the Trail releases it.
Yeah, here, I'm going to sit here and you can get it. Respectfully, that's great. He's spot on. 100% right. The lead should never be looking there. It's a primary one-on-one. It's what we call a start, develop, finish play. It starts, go ahead, go frame by frame. It starts right here. It's pause right there, stop it. It starts in the lead's seat. I'm sorry, it starts in the C's primary. It continues in the C's primary and it finishes in the C's primary. This guy's seeing 100% of the play. This guy's seeing about 15%. This guy's seeing about 20%. So why should these guys blow their whistles? They shouldn't. Trust the guy who's got a 100% look. That's like a good referee. He's very good. This is not a two referee play. Screening, anytime you're involving offensive players rolling around screeners, that's a two referee play. This is not a two referee play. If you're looking at this play and you're not the center, shame on you. Shame on you.
Bring that leads guys, those players, right?
Yeah, there's not that much action, but let's talk about that's in our game, that's not in your game. This guy should be zeroed in on that guy and the arc. That guy should be zeroed in on the arc. That's all I should be looking at. I gotta help with that. If this secondary guy rolls over, I gotta help with that. No, that's something you don't have to worry about. That's just look at but at the same time, this guy shouldn't be sticking his nose in this guy's business.
He's already cut over.
Well, yeah, but he stops it. So go ahead and play it all the way through.
Okay, question, I did notice that the lead still reported that would they not.
Yeah,
have it
well-
up to the seat?
Go ahead and play. Just get better right now to this point that was Look at how disgusting he is. He knew it was a block. I knew it was a block. When he went charge, I was just thinking, oh man, we screwed this up. This is a path play.
How did you tackle this at halftime?
I went in and I raised my hand and I said, I screwed that up. I'm sorry. I should have never blown my whistle.
How'd the lead?
The lead was like, oh, I saw hold with a U after it. Yeah. You got we're all really good friends. Like that. The relationship is great because you can speak from the heart. So, okay, jump some more plays. Hey.
Let's be Tony, this is one of the Nevada points of emphasis for this year, right? Off-ball officiating. When we get ourselves caught up, ball watching is when we get ourselves in trouble, right? We're not watching the extra stuff that's going on in my primary is trail. And I've done it to several of you guys, right? Cracked a whistle on something I shouldn't be cracking a whistle on. What am I doing? Usually I'll think pretty smart. I'll just throw it down real quick. I'll throw it down. That's your call. Good call. Good call. Kicking myself in the ass. Going that, right? That's why it's one of our points of emphasis for the state. We do a poor job of it because we're just moth to the flame. We like to see what's going on. We're the action. These two guys aren't doing anything. They're not going to do anything. I'm going to watch this. This looks good because he's a good ball player. That's why we have those into them. So I love that you're going over there. Keep going.
Okay, I have plays that I call, sounds weird. I call lick plays. Like guys will send plays into me and I say, you got to stop licking yourself. That was easy. They're just sending plays in to make them look good. So I call them lick plays. This is kind of a lick play, but you wanted some off ball stuff. So let's play this out and I want you to zero in right here on these two guys. Okay? Go ahead, just play it at fast speed. All right, now go back to the beginning. Keep going. Yeah. Right there. Just go to there. Pause it. Okay. Look at it. We talk about competitive matchups, right? There's not one competitive matchup here right now. The 4 defenders are 10 feet from their guys, maybe 6 feet. These 2 guys are really close. And I'm down here and I noticed that. I'm like, whoa. I don't know what happened on the previous possession. I don't know about these 2 guys, but I do know that that's awfully close to be guarding a guy whose ball is going that way, and he only has about 3 points up until then. Right? Like some flash in my brain. So I'm watching this, go frame by frame. See this? I have nothing, pause it right there. There's nothing else to officiate. These guys, he's got this. Nobody doing anything. He's coming up to set a ball screen. 2 referee, go frame by frame. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting here watching, and I couldn't believe it. He slapped the guy right across the face. Watch this. Just slapped it. No reason. Well, I found out recently. Yeah. So when I ran in there, this is a little bit like when you're going to make big calls like that. I ran in between them because I didn't want there to be a fight, and then I threw the guy out for a flagrant 2. But there's a situation where you got a referee where you know you can help the crew, right? If I was looking at all this other bullshit, I would have never seen it, and then we would have ended up at the monitor, which is no good. Right? It's lucky we didn't have a fight because look at these guys. We're fortunate that we did get it so that these guys didn't come off the bench and beat the living crap out of that guy. Yeah. No, you know what happened? These 2 guys are best friends. Oh. And I guess the prior game, he punked that guy. But we don't know that. But where you're going with this is just dead ball officiating, or not dead ball officiating, off ball officiating, knowing what just be aware of your surroundings, be aware kind of where you need to go and what you need to do. Any place they want to see.
Hey, can you go back on that one?
Which one?
The last one you just had up there. So when you guys had pretty much 8 guys on the right side of the screen, you had Trail and Lee on the weak side. When are you
No reason to rotate.
just hang out? Okay.
Wait. Did that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay, you guys are going to the shot clock, right? Yeah. Preparation with the shot clock. 1 year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's gonna sound like, and look at, so far the questions have been magnificent. Seriously. I mean, I really don't do this I don't teach very much. I'm too busy trying to teach myself. And I hope I didn't embarrass you when I said, here, do that. I was being serious. That was really, really good. I wasn't trying to show you. I was meaning like, good for you. Like, seriously. That was, I mean, what you were saying was spot on. Here's the deal on the shot clock. You really have to discipline yourself. You really have to, like, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I'm one of the best clock guys in the country by far. Like and I'm not trying, again, there's me, there's Chip Kissinger, there's maybe 1 or 2 other guys, James Breeding. We're all in this area. And then the rest of the country starts here. So every possession, see that number right there? I get that number every single possession. Every possession, I pick that number up. So the number here is 48. It's an inbound from the sideline, right? And I have that number ingrained in my head. So if it's a rebound, ball comes off, rebound, I see the guy possess it, I get the clock. 35. That's my magic number. 35. Okay? So that now when we have a shot clock, let's say the guy resets and he resets it incorrectly. I don't need to go to the monitor. 35, we're at 17. We're going to take 18 off the shot clock. We're going to 12. Are you sure? Yeah. How are you sure? The number was 35. Don't you want to look at it? No, I don't need to look at it. I'm not saying that arrogantly. I'm saying that from a perspective of get information. What I just say, the more information you have, the better off you're going to be. I get that number every single possession. I know it. Okay, so we're going to play this play through. You got it. Get Orlando. So watch. Remember, the number is 48, right? 48's our number.
1-6 start from the field for UCF. That could spell disaster. Yeah. And the biggest thing right now, Baylor's acting, they're communicating, nice feed down to those. Misses the butt in and Colbeck.
Okay, now he scored. So 48 was a number. It was a 20-second. It was an inbound, so it's a 20, right? So what's the number we're going to have a violation at? 20 seconds. So we're going to have a violation at 28. Okay, so back. So did you guys go ahead and play it? And then just leave it to them. The number is 48. It's the number.
1-6 start from the field for UCF. That could spell disaster. Yeah. And the biggest thing right now, Baylor's acting, they're communicating, nice feed down to those. Misses the fun.
Okay, back it up. So look at, run this shot clock. You just have to pay attention. If you guys are new at it, they're going to be really new at it. So you're going to run into all kinds of problems. But again, if you have information, you can get it. Okay, so watch this. Here's the play. Now, my job is to referee all that, right? Okay, there's no foul. But now we got rebounding action and we got all this other bullshit. But I'm pretty sure that ball never. And now we have a reset. Okay, now watch. This is where you really got to create good habits. Right here. Watch my head. Stop. Go back, go backwards. See that? What am I doing? I'm looking to see where my number's at. I see 32. I'm not going to kill the play right here and put 4 on the shot clock, give him the ball out of bounds, and allow him to set up a play. I'm going to let this play out. He's 6 feet from the basket. I guarantee you, Johnny Dawkins at Central Florida says, Tony, my guy's on the basket. He's getting ready to score. Why are you killing it?
We blinked.
Right? So I'm glancing at, now, again, we are spoiled rotten. We have clocks above each basket. You're going to have to find it somewhere like over there. We have a rule that we have clocks on top of each basket. Okay? So you're going to have to find that. So there's me looking down and realizing, okay, they got 4 seconds. I'm not blowing this. When it gets to 28 and that ball's still in the possession of somebody's hands, I'm blowing my whistle. And they're going to say, we had a reset. No, that ball never hit the rim. Well, yeah, I know it. I just know it didn't hit the rim. So again, the more information you have and the coaches can match it like that, you just say, hey. Okay, so right here, I know, now I got a referee still. I still have to referee this play. Okay? But I know 4 seconds is an awful long time. So I'm letting it go. Ball's out, and I got 2 seconds to go. I know that's wrong. But I don't need to kill the game and go look at the monitor. Okay? So when you're doing this, every possession, like I've been doing scrimmages for the last 2 weeks already. Even in practice, in inter squads, I'm running down the court. As soon as there's a change of possession, I train myself. I'm going to grab that. I get that number every single time. Yes, sir.
Tony, if in your mind that you would have got down 4-3-2-1 now he still has possession, but his possession time right now, then you would have hit the whistle?
At 28, I'm hitting the whistle.
Right.
As soon as I see 28 on the game clock, not the shot clock.
Right.
On the game clock, I'm killing it. And I'm going to say, shot clock violation. Yes, sir.
When you find your magic number, you're taking just the number you see first, not doing math.
Good question. Some guys do it both ways. I just get the number. I'm not good enough to run down the court and say, shit, block charge, 30 minus 48, 48 minus 18. No. Mike Reed does it the other way. Mike Reed's a good block guy too. I should have mentioned him. He's very good. Anybody heard Mike Reed? Lives in Mount Shasta City. He's still able to work in Nevada, even though I don't work there anymore.
For no money.
No, I love Steve. He's my favorite guy. One of my favorite guys. So yeah, he does the math. I'm not that good.
So you're working at different gyms across the country throughout the year, five nights a week, sometimes 6 nights a week. You pregame with the shot clock operator, with timeout coordinator, etc. What do you tell them? I mean, you're in a different gym, relying on a different person every night.
It's a great-
What's your instruction?
That's really good. I go over to him and I tell him, look, if you're not sure, don't reset. It's easier to fix it the other way. I tell him, if you're not sure, don't reset. Okay? Be slow. Make sure. Really be patient, really be slow. Okay? And then I tell him all the time to focus on the rim. So that's my next question. Do you guys, what's the rule? Do you know the rule? Does anybody know the rule on shot clock? Like our rule used to be that it had to be a try in order. So if I threw a pass and it hit the rim, there was no reset. Now our rule is any ball that hits the rim, if a guy dribbles and he hits the rim, it's a reset. Which you know your rule?
That's a good question. We're still coming up with something. Scott Clark is our shot clock guy. He works on the other side also. We kind of leaned on him. I think that's a pretty good question. The ball gets slammed down, hits the rim.
The high school rule.
In the high school rule.
That's the only question being asked. There's 3 or 4 questions I asked. Because it's not really been.
Yeah.
So in our game, any ball that hits the rim, except for a pass from out of bounds.
So
What's that?
You don't have to judge it.
No. Any ball that hits the rim. Anything. I pass it to you, it goes off your shoulder, it hits the rim, reset. Anything that it takes the guesswork out of everything. A try, we do for shooting fouls, but no longer for this. Another great question. Seriously. I'm not just blowing smoke. Like, you got to hear some of the questions. Like last week, we had our Big 12 consortium meeting. Well, let me put it to you this way. About 5 years ago, Curtis Shaw was our boss at the Big 12. And Curtis stood in front, there's 180 guys. Okay. I know there's a saying out there that I don't believe in stupid questions, or that there is no such thing as a stupid question, but I don't believe in that saying. So if you ask a stupid question, I'm not going to answer it. I'll be damned if one of the guys who's one of the best officials in the country raised his hand and asked the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life. And Curtis looked at him, he says, don't tell me you're that stupid. No, I'm not going to say that to anybody. That so far, questions have been magnificent. Seriously. So that's the shot clock. You guys, what time do you want me to stop?
You're gonna go till 7:30. So
Seriously?
yeah, 7:45.
Okay.
Sometimes.
You mean
I like what you said about that shot clock. To tell the shot clock operator, the safest thing to do is let it go. Just let the clock go. Let it play out. We can always give the ball out of bounds, right? Our 4 designated spot. Pick a spot up there. I like that, Scott. Does that sound good running with that? So we want to tell our tables to let the shot clock go. Right? If you're unsure that it hit the rim or not, then let it go. Just let it ride. Don't reset it if you're guessing.
Because look, they would have let this one go if they were patient saying, I wasn't sure. Everything plays out perfect. Instead, it doesn't play out that way. And then coaches always come back later with if they see a reset, like let's say this guy doesn't shoot it, he passes it out. If he passes it out and the ball settles, then I might kill it and put time back up and give him the balls. But I'm not going to do it when the ball's under there. If the ball settles outside, I would say outside this area, anything I'm paid, I'm not killing. So if the ball settles outside that, I'm gonna stop it and then put the right time.
Okay. So here's two good questions. So the ball has to hit the rim or flange before the shot clock runs dead.
That's not stupid. That's the rule.
It just said in here, Chapter tries for a field goal.
Yeah. See, so like I said, I'm not hip on the high school rules.
So
I know in our game, as long as it hits the ref, it's good. Yeah, try. Yes, no pass.
This might be an association. Is it not safe to say on the shot clock, since we still have a definition for what a try is that on the shot clock, it has to actually be a try based off of our definition,
Right.
then.
we're still safe on that.
It might be that way.
On that.
But when you talk to the table crews, just tell them, look, you're not gonna get scolded. So where I'm going with that story is don't scold those people. They're making, if anything, they might be making $20 a game. They only make like 100 at our game. They get great seats. They're only making, I know the shot clock operators at some places make $100. I mean, to me, that's absurd. And look at some of the people in our game are spectacular. Like the guy at Colorado is unbelievable. The table crew at Colorado is amazing. You get some table crews, you're just like, oh God. The crew at Wyoming, flat sheets. They cheat. Oh, geez. I mean, we tell them, no cheating tonight. No, I wouldn't do the coach. I wouldn't get the coaches involved.
Because typically, coach is gonna be somebody they know.
Tell them not to cheat. Yes, sir.
See, it's always a bonus. And one time I was watching the lead, and the trail came down, called a foul post play, and you had it totally. And I was just wondering, because later you called it in his area later, about 2 plays later, would you do that? Would you kind of get upset and came in?
I would probably have a tendency to say, I don't really care if a guy's right. I don't care. I personally don't care. There was no retribution. I don't know which game it was, but there was no like retribution, like, hey, you called on me and I'm gonna do it.
I don't know if you were just having fun with him and coming back against Barry.
Probably not. I probably just noticed something he couldn't see. So we talk about, so there's a philosophy and we talk about, this is a cardinalism. Cardinal has tons of isms. One of the cardinalisms is first best, second best, third best. This is something that he has created.
Yeah. They cheated.
The referees screwed Arizona. Yeah, again. All right. This is a great play. Now, I've talked to, this is Jeff Anderson, pretty good friend. I wouldn't say we're best buddies. He lives back in upstate New York. Now, this is a critical play. This guy right here, you remember that guy? Zach Edey, best player at Purdue, right? He has 2 fouls at this point of the game. Okay. Now, and we're in the first half. He has 2 fouls. Now, why he's in the game, I don't know. I don't coach. And Matt Painter's a great coach. Really good coach. Okay, so watch. We'll just play it at full speed. How many people have blocked? Raise their hand.
I do.
Be honest. You got blocked? Maybe how many people have charged in this chart? How many people think it's a no call? Let's see. Remember that number 6, 4%, not very good. Okay, now let's back up and look at this play at impact. Okay, now, even if you take plant foot into the equation, okay, right there, let's go. Pause it. Okay, what did Rich say? 2 feet? Go ahead, one more frame. He is there. There's no question. That dude is there. First of all, that guy is 7'6". Hang on. That guy is the biggest dude I've seen ever in my life. Well, I should say second biggest guy. I saw Shaq one time on the floor at UCLA, and I was standing this far away from him, just staring at him. And I said, "How do you get through doorways?" And he says, "Sometimes it's hard." Shaq, I'll tell you, Shaq's one of my favorite guys in the world. He just all of a sudden he just shows up at games and he's very pleasant and great guy. Great. Okay, frame by frame. Okay, now watch. We talking about plant foot. Now, right there, stop. What's his look like? Yeah. Huh? If you know you don't have a good look, what should you not do? Don't blow your whistle. Just don't blow. It's really hard in two-man. Really hard. Two-man officiating is very, 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 very difficult. I don't mean to be disrespectful to the women. I'm just a horrible speaker of men, women, and all that. Two-person officiating is impossible. I don't care what level you want to do. It's impossible. I had to do two-man for about 3/4 of a game last year because one of my partners got hit and got knocked out. And my partner came over to me and says, "Hey, are you up to speed on two-man mechanics?" And I said, "Yeah, it doesn't matter because you're still going to blow all over the place." So great. Okay, so his look is garbage, right? How's that guy's look? Let's rate these looks. A plus. I give that a C minus. I give this guy OTL. Out to lunch. No, seriously, he just in no man's land. But he should have engaged when the ball went up. We get offensive rebounding. You got to stick your face in there and get your nose in. You can't just still be out here. Okay, so here we are. Now we talk about plant foot. Is he down with his plant foot yet? No. Keep go next frame. Next frame. Is he ever get into his? Does he ever get airborne? No. Whenever you see a guy, an offensive player, stick his foot right in between the defensive player, you can go charge 99.9% of the time. That is never going to be a blocking foul when you see that. Okay? Well, what did I say? Lack courage. This guy knows that he's got 2 fouls, and he's like, "Oh man, we're going to get our third." Okay, the only guy that's happy is the Purdue guy here. Okay, so play out. Here we go. Anytime. That's not even a block charge play. That's a run over. He never gets airborne. He's airborne now, but look at the contact. Now, why do you think the lead blows there? Somebody raise their hand on this one. Yes.
Listen for the players, then he sees this big play. Like you said, surprise is the mistake.
I'll give you that. Anybody else? Why he feels the need to blow his whistle? No. I'm waiting. Okay. I'm over here. I'm waiting. I'm like, please don't blow your whistle. Yes. There you go. He feels like I gotta have a whistle because that's my defender. I have to have a whistle. That's my defender. How about talking to yourself and saying, I only got this much of that play. I'm going to trust the center over there. That's the discipline of being an official that requires lots of work, creating good habits, and really trusting the system. That's where, I'll tell you what, if you're the lead and you're looking here and you're working two man and your second person was, I know you're gonna be over here and he was here, I swear to God, I'm gonna let the trail blow. Cause man, there's no way I can see that. There's just no way. So why should I guess?
What was that halftime play? You talk about that play?
Actually, I don't think we did because I don't think we did talk about that play. I really don't.
Tony, would you have called that offense?
100%. I had offensive foul. I was just waiting for him to not blow.
Because how often is it? Say, when we start games to take.
It's all bullshit. That is all bullshit. In fact, I told Mike Krzyzewski's, I'm not going to say it. Joking. Yes.
Yes, there was two that went though.
No,
No.
I did not. I never blew my whistle. I don't ever blow my whistle from outside unless we don't have a whistle. Like, you notice he's in the air. When I'm on the outside, I've disciplined myself that I don't blow my whistle until that guy's on his back. When as a secondary. So this is his primary, this is my secondary. When I'm the secondary official, I've trained myself. On plays like this, I'm not blowing until that guy's on his back and we don't have a whistle. So I don't blow on those plays. Double whistle here is what I call we muddy the water. So I'm muddying the water. If we blow at the same time and I go, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? It looks like bullshit. And I'll show you a play like that. And it's me doing it, being wrong. So I shouldn't say I never do it, but I rarely. But on that play, I'm not doing it.
Double whistle. If that's not your BCA, you drop it and let the person take it that also blew.
Don't blow.
I mean, yeah. In the
If you don't blow it, we don't have to pregame it. All right.
yeah, that's valid.
So we had a game a couple years ago with Greg Nixon and another guy. We get in the locker room, we're in Arizona, you get in the locker room and he says, man, I'm really working hard. I know this double whistle thing is big. I'm really working hard at it. And I think last night we did a great job. We had 11 double whistles. 11. And I said, he goes, I'm really trying. We had 18 the night before and we had 11 last night. And I looked over at Greg, and I was the crew chief, and I looked at Greg and I said, Greg, how many double whistles? And I got about that far. I was going to say, how many double whistles are you expecting to have tonight? And I got about, how many double whistles are you about that far? He goes, 0. The guy looked at us and he goes, oh, I don't think I could do that. 0 is the goal. Now, I'm not saying, like I said, never, I never do. I do, because I have an example of me. And look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I am the biggest, most critical person of myself in the world. It's the only way you get any better. I am so critical of what I do. Like there's times where I'll be on the plane and I'm like looking to see if I pull that exit road thing and I could get out the window and jump out. Pretty sure I'll die here. Being sarcastic, but there's times where I feel like shit because I make mistakes. And everybody in this room is going to make a mistake. I made calls where I've had to go over to coach. I went over to Lorenzo Romar one time, and Lorenzo never gets mad. He ran to the box. It was at the end of the box. He said, hang on, for the foul. And I said, Lorenzo, here's the deal. Before you say anything, that's the worst call I've ever made in my, wait, I'm going to go a step further and say that's the worst call I've ever seen in college basketball. What's he gonna say? It's like the shot. You're going to deal with shot clock operators. Hey, my bad.
Lead in that.
That's another good question. Fantastic. I'd be right there. This working wide thing. You can take that ticket where the sun doesn't shine. I got 1,000 examples of why working wide is so good. You're disconnected. You're out. You're telling everybody I'm not getting. Okay.
Yes. I just pretty fast on the law, like that. Don't make it. Yeah. Oh, what have been. Oh, this is my favorite thing, right? Look at that, that's fair. That's kind of like fun. And all. Look at my father's family. This is wrong. It's the only thing you can turn into that. Yeah, I don't think the garbage. So that's very tough. Like 7 minutes. Anything else that anybody wants to ask, look at?
Yes.
Okay, so shot clock to make issue this year, so I'm probably getting on it a little bit more than other topics. So we have a game last year, a lot of ball pressure, full court ball pressure. I happen to be the lead, got a shot clock game. And the 35 seconds off with our shot clock. The red team has the ball, the home team steals it at 24. They'll reset it to 35. Let the play go. I let the play go. I'm the lead, but the other two are really involved with ball pressure. So they don't see it. Now I'm telling myself, if it gets under 10, I'm gonna blow my whistle and I'm gonna give them that 11 seconds back. When would you give them those?
Are you in the
11 seconds?
back court or the front?
It's full court pressure, so I'm probably free throw line.
So you're in the front court, so they stole it, they were in the back court, lots of pressure, they steal it in the back court, so now the offensive team's in their front court.
Yes.
I'm killing it as soon as the ball settles.
And the reason I did do it, I'll tell you, is this team, goes the whole in a court burden. So
As soon as the ball, like, if they go, I'm not gonna blow. As soon as they do this. Now, here's the thing. As soon as that possession changed, you gotta discipline yourself to get that number. So you get the number. So now the guy turns out and kills it, but, okay, we're gonna put 132 on the shot clock. There, that's how I would do it. We had a game, shot clock. We had a game at USC. I think it was Mississippi USC. And it was a rebound. Now remember, the shot clock doesn't start until it's actually possessed, right? It's not when it's tapped. If the ball, and the rules might be different, but it has to be possessed. Should try, tip, 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 tip. All of a sudden, Mississippi has the ball right in the corner, and they're going all the way down that way. And the guy's double team. He grabs the ball, I get the shot clock, and I look. I get the game clock and shot clock, and I look, and the shot clock's at 25. Because the guy he reset it at the tap. Now we have a double team. Now we use, I don't know, this might be something else. We use the shot clock for our 10-second count. Same? Yeah. Perfect. Okay, trap. I know it's at 25, and I know it's wrong. It should be at 30. Okay? He's double teamed. He's got nowhere to go. He's looking. Now he thinks I got plenty of time. I got 10 seconds to get it across. 25, 4, 3, 2, 0. My partner comes running in. 10 seconds. And I go, no, it's not. It's only 5 seconds. Because the guy reset. No. Look, it says 20. Did you see when he reset it? No. Okay. So now I got to go over and tell Annie Enfield, we're going to give him the ball back here, right here. We're going to give them the ball back. The shot clock's going to be at 25. Okay. And they get a new 10. Right? and they get a new 10. So what do you think happened next? He MF the other guy, and then that guy had to tee Andy over a simple play that could have been completely avoided had we had what? Information. Information is your greatest asset when you're officiating. It's the greatest thing in the world. Again, I don't want to sound arrogant, but during games, like any game, you could go like this. You could blindfold me. Tony, give me the time on the clock, give me the shot clock time, give me the score, give me the 5 players for this team, 5 players for that team, and how many fouls on each guy, and I could go like that. I could give it to you in a heartbeat. Guys in the game for white, 1, 10, 15, 24, 28, 35. 35's got 3 fouls. 28 has this. I can tell you. There's pictures of me. My kids always go to games, and why are you always looking? I study the board to no end because we have like 85 timeouts in a game. I mean, I just sit there and I study it. Right? Okay. Team fouls, everything. It's your greatest asset. How many times? Look at I used to do high school. How many times you have to go over there and say, "Are the team fouls right?" All the time. So if you can do it yourself and you have information, it's so valuable to no end. It's the greatest asset you have. Because you can't trust the sport table. I don't mean that in a bad way. There's some great tables, there's some bad ones. But you can trust yourself. If you have that information, you're gonna be that much better. Any questions?
I'm just curious about your game, reference on the monitor earlier, you talked about all the timeouts of that. Is there anything being done to try to hasten reviews?
Very good question. There's a huge emphasis on pace of play. No more huddles, get them out of the huddle. More warnings for timeouts. We're not going to the monitor anymore under 2 minutes. The coaches have to challenge. They can only challenge out of bounds plays. They have to have a timeout and a challenge. There's all kinds of stuff to try to speed it up because TV complain.
Could you go teach that for football guys?
But here's the thing, like the NCAA tournament said, well, the games are too long. Well, yeah, your commercials are 3.5 minutes long. Yeah. Your timeout or your half times are 20 minutes long. I mean, look at the NCAA tournament is the most remarkable thing I've ever been a part of. I'll tell you what, there's nothing like walking out in front of 75,000 people and all of a sudden there's 20 million watching at home. I mean, it's like adrenaline high. I mean, it's crazy. It's the weirdest, because we don't, we work in I work in front of 20,000 like almost every night, except for, like Baylor has 10, but it's an very impactful 10. There's places you go, it's 15, 17, but like you go to BYU, that's 22,000. It's sold out every night.
No, they reduced the seating. It's only 18,000.
Where?
BYU. Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
They took it down?
Yeah.
Why?
They took out all the bench seats and put chairs.
All right. So can you talk about the philosophy is need?
Yeah. I only rotate to get the crew in a good spot. So when we talk about high ball screens, like if let's say the lane is here, this side of the lane, the other side's over there. I get to close down and I recognize like the high ball screen dictates where the ball is going to go. So if I see the screener running up and he's going to go, the dribbler's going to go that way, I'll try to beat the ball going that way and I'll read it, but I'll wait to see if the screener slips or not. Because if the screener slips, I got to be looking right up through it. Okay. But I work in close down all the time. That's all I ever work right there. I don't get like this. I don't get wide. And the reason I don't get wide is because we have plant foot now. Remember I said 60-40? So when I'm out wide, I got to go like this. I got to see offense, defense. I'm overdoing it, but you have to go like this. So your eyes are going like this. Look at this. If I'm right here and that guy's coming down the slot, I can see everybody right here. I can see this. I can see right through the play. I don't have to keep going like this. So when that guy plants his foot, I get to also see whether or not the guy's going side to side. I get to see where he's at. That's why I work where I do. Our game's different than the NBA. The NBA game is totally different. They have defensive 3 seconds. All of our help and all of your help, defense, comes from the middle of the paint. We don't have our game is, we don't have defensive 3 seconds. So all of our help comes from the middle of the paint. Your help is going to come from the middle of the paint. You guys hear assistants yelling. How many of you guys hear assistants yelling, helpline, helpline, helpline? That's the helpline. It's like from one center of the basket to the other center of the basket. So that's where your help comes from. Well, why do I want to be out here staring at that guy and staring at that guy when there's going to be a collision right there? I don't want to see it go this way. I want to see it that way. So that's why I work here. As far as rotating, I read it. I read where the ball and I read where my crew's at. I need to get that guy in a position to get a great look. And I need to get him in a position to get a great look. This thing of rotating because the ball goes that way, I got to get ball side, no more. And I've noticed that as offenses have changed, I rotate way less. I would say I might rotate once in 3 possessions. That's it. Because we don't have post play anymore. There is no such thing. There's no Lou Alcindor backing down and getting the ball. I don't need to be over there. That guy's going to run up, set a screen, and then they're going to run. The 3-point game has changed everything. They all believe in spacing. Good question. Anything else? We're running out of time.
Just on the shot clock, sorry about my last, but, I think our 2 smallest size divisions, we only use 2-man. So I think those are going to be the hardest to deal with the shot clock. Some of those small gyms only have 1 scoreboard, and you're talking about looking at.
No, you'll have it on each side.
No, but I mean, you were talking about looking at the scoreboard to see the game clock. Some of those.
Look fast.
Yeah.
Some of them have like one time.
I'm going to tell you something. When you first start doing it, your head is going to be spinning. And you're going to be in the middle of a tough session. You're going to be going, oh shit, I forgot what the number was. Okay, so you forgot. But just after a while, you'll do it every single possession. You just got to get in the habit of doing it. Next time we got to plan for like 5 hours. Is it? I didn't really, man, I got like 8,000 plays. I was like all day yesterday, I was watching, grinding, and that's kind of my forte is showing plays and explaining plays. As far as, does anybody have any questions about the stupid shit I do? Like, our job is insane. I'll just touch on it briefly. Guys, it's so hard. So I have a golf background. I played golf for a living for 10 years. And when I talk about the Peter principle of getting to your level of incompetence, one day I got paired with John Daly and David Duval, and I realized I got to quit golf. Fast. I wasn't good enough to make it. I thought I was, but no, seriously, you always, when you're younger, you always think, well, I should be getting that game, or I should be working this game, or I should be playing it in the U.S. Open. Which honestly, I was a good player. I was in 1998, I was the second alternate to play in the actual U.S. Open. So it wasn't like I was shitty, but I wasn't good enough to make a living at it. I'm probably not good enough to make a living at refereeing either. But anyways, it's so hard to make it in refereeing than it ever has been. It's just because coaches are hard to get to buy in. How many guys are in their 20th season of refereeing in high school? 30. Well, I'm just 20 or above. Okay, you guys have buy-in from all the coaches, right? You show up, oh, hey, Joe Schmo's on the game. Good to see you. How's it going? Good. You have buy-in. That's what you have to try to get to. That's where you got to try to elevate yourself. And the biggest determining factor in our game is the NCAA tournament. That's like the litmus test. As soon as you work the tournament, you're pretty much in. That's it. You get a pay raise, people see you, they notice you have this on your resume. Then you get regional, and that's like even bigger. And then you get a Final Four, and it's like, whoa, it's unbelievable. The Big 12 believes that not only should they have 3 tournament referees on every game, they believe that 2 of them should be regional referees. Every game. That's their motto. That's why on Monday nights, you see 3 Final Four guys on the big Monday game. Tuesday night, Big Tuesday, all you see are Final Four guys out there. They're plastered everywhere because that's what the coaches want. So 20% of the referees work 80% of the games. The other 80 work the other 20%. That's how it is these days. And I'm sure it's not much different in high school. So Higgins always, my boss, John Higgins, always says, tells guys get better. Well, I will say the biggest thing you can do as an official, the number one thing that's really transformed is not that they see you. I tell my kids this all the time, and then I'll quit, I promise. There's two impressions you can never change. First and last, correct? Can't ever change those. Your first impression is going to be when you shake hands with that coach. Hey, coach, good to see you, Tony Padilla. That's your first impression. Okay? Your last impression is what? Wrong. It's going to be him in his office, putting his laptop out and watching how you officiated that game. So the last thing he's going to remember is your play calling. And if you stunk, you'll never work him again. But if he's looking at this objectively, and I will say, for the most part, most coaches are pretty objective. For the most part. I mean, I don't know what goes on. Bobby knows that. So I'm not worried about that. This isn't going to be posted to where Bobby can see it. Anyways, no, Bobby and I have a very good mutual respect for each other. Very good. But that's going to be where you're judged is when he's sitting there watching. So if he says, oh shit, I drilled his ass on that call. And you know what? He was right. That's going to be your final impression. That's going to be your last impression. And if your impression, first time having that coach, is a good handshake, a good greeting, I should say, and your final thing is he looks at the game and goes, wow, that person did a pretty good job in the game. That's going to be, you're going to go that way. If he looks at that game or he or she looks at that game and says, wow, look at all these plays. I got all these notes. I got 45 clips I got to send into the. So video has completely changed our game. There's nowhere to hide. Video doesn't lie. It just doesn't lie. It trickled down to junior high school stuff. It just doesn't lie. So I would say get your plays right. Do whatever you can to get your plays right. Grind, watch video, look at pathways, understand. If you have access to go to camps and really good camps, go to camps. There's very few camps that are any good these days. Like, not very many. But if you can go to camps where the teachers are going to be really good. Like James Breeding is one of the greatest teachers in the world. Anybody know who James Breeding is? He's an East Coast guy who lives in Louisville, Kentucky. Great person, great play caller, tremendous play caller, and just an overall great referee. You got to I try to model myself after guys like James, people like that. But I would say if you're going to do anything in this business and you really want to succeed, get your plays right. I went way over.
Tony, that's before you go here. Curtis and I were talking about it.
I already know what this is.
6 years since you were here with us.
Well, 2018.
Last time we were here, gave you a coin, and it was an association coin. We still use the same one, so I decided I'd do something else for this since you're new. This is your honorary rookie of the year. Yeah.
So Curtis explained the coin. I had no idea, like what the coin